If you want this truck, subscribe to win it. Once we hit 10,000, I'm going to pick one lucky winner to receive this vehicle. After that, we're going to continue to give away vehicles and more products. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get to the fun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, welcome back, guys. Yesterday, we ran the Mini Maxx. Now, this truck was not performing adequately, and a lot of you guys messaged the channel and were like, you know, it was doing backflips and things on other channels, doing wheelies. You know, I checked that out. On some of those channels, it did. And on others, it was performing and behaving exactly as it was behaving for me. I did go in, I did check to make sure that it was running on the proper mode, not training mode, and it wasn't. I did fully charge the battery. It performed somewhat a little bit better. As you can see, we've got a little bit more expansion on the tires, but ultimately it didn't perform much better outside. So I'm still ripping the system out. I don't know if that's because the systems from Traxxas are kind of hit and miss on their power banding, or what that is. That could possibly be. That happens to companies with their electronics sometimes. I'm nor going to hate on that, nor am I going to condone that that's the best system ever built, because it is not. So what we're going to do is we are going to take all this system out, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop that Spectrum system in there that I have laying around, and we will be making it an overpowered 3100. This is only rated for 3S, but its rating is so low on the 3100 that making it 4S really isn't going to hurt it. And the fact that I'm putting it into a vehicle that's way lighter than, say, the Losi monster truck it came in, I don't think we're really going to run into an issue with it overheating. So let's get into that. We're going to take the ESC and the motor out, and we're going to have fun and see if it'll work how we want it to work. The battery tray may have to be altered a bit, and I think we'll be able to do that just by putting in a couple of spacers and a longer screw. So I'm going to go ahead and start that, and I will be back. All right. So in order for this to actually screw in properly, I will need to notch right here. As you can see, this bit of plastic is stopping the tab on the ESC from sliding exactly where I need it to be on the screw hole here. So this does fit quite well, actually. There will be some minor trimming, as you can see here, but it fits into place there. And I might have to trim this backside here just a bit. Then we can get that into place, but you can see on the underside how the holes just don't line up properly, and that is a result of that little wall there for the center drive shaft. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to trim that out, and we should be having no issues there. So we've trimmed out the tabs here just a little bit, and then we cut on this side just so that it doesn't rub on the drive line. And now we're going to cut the other piece here. I left it in the structure here because it's not really important if it's sitting up on an angle, as long as it's just screwed into place. That way we don't mess with the structural of the chassis. And there you have it. That's all the material that was required to be removed. I do have this now bolted into place. If you do this, you will need to have nuts on the other side to catch it, as it does not screw into place due to the fact that this actually has a longer or a wider screw hole than the 3M that it is required on the stock one. It's also interesting that Traxxas didn't label their hoses or their holes for gear meshing. Normally they do. They have some sort of meshing system. This one just doesn't at all. So I'm going to have to take a look at the manual and see what the manual says and then do a hole count, if you will. So I just took a look in the manual and there is no configuration for different specs on pinion size for the motor mount. Luckily though, I am using a 20, so all I have to do is put it obviously in the holes that are already there. But keep that in mind. So that's probably something that might be looked at when they put out the V2. I'm assuming they will be putting out a V2 because there's already a few things that I've seen wrong with this model. One being it's not enough power. Two, we have no corresponding holes or a manual to tell us what holes to use for what pinion, as they do with every other model they've ever put out, as far that I've had anyway. Okay, maybe some of the other, like the Rustlers didn't, but those had a sliding pinion. This does not. So that's interesting. So I guess I will just go ahead and put that back together. The other thing is, it is seemingly hard to match up your gear mesh up like back and forth on the spur gear, just because you can't see it when you put it in. It's like, so you gotta kind of lower it down and be like, does that seem about right? Yeah, okay, that seems about right there. So that's what we're gonna do. This is an extremely tight fit. I'm talking like this just fits in there. So you can see the amount of space we've got between the motor and the ESC. So that is the can length right there. If you were wondering, or if you were wondering about 3.8 wheels and tires, you will get rub right there, like guaranteed 100%. Same thing on this way. So it's, in my opinion, might as well just keep these, just because if the tires do expand, they're still going to be within limit. So this tire size is actually pretty good. All right, time to see if the beast lives. Nice. Okay. So we did put a spacer in here. This is a 1300 milliamp 4S battery. And as you can see, we did have to bend that to fit in here. It will not fit in upside down, unfortunately. So that threw my plans right out the window. But we're going to go out and we're going to give this a run now. And it appears that we are just in time for the next cyclone. All right. Woo, that's got some power. So this is not a fully charged battery. It will not last long. I have one on the charger right now. But already I can tell we've got the speed that we want. Oh yeah, look at it go. Yeah, okay, now we're popping wheelies. The road is wet, so, we got that going for us, which is nice. This is still on a 20-tooth pinion. Whoa, nice. But this is now acting like I want it to act. I got the punch when I got it, or want it, and away we go, right? Woohoo! Definitely a better vehicle. Even 3S would have been fine, but that 2S motor and ESC was just garbage. Okay, let's take a run down through the grass here. It's pretty long. It is really hard to drive with one hand. Yeah, definitely a lot better. Whoa! I'm only punching in at about 50% of the throttle right now, just because I'm trying to get used to it and I'm only using one hand. But we got the ramp down here, so might as well set that up. Looks like the rain's starting to hit us. That's only 50%. Whoa! Oh. I hit the brakes so hard I did a forward flip. All right, we got the rain to subside a bit. Got a fully charged battery. Let's try this thing out on 4S and see what happens. It is pretty bonkers in Toontown. Woo! But again, I am having issues with a delay on the remote, and I am not sure why it's doing that. I had the same problem with the stock system, so not sure what that's all about. Probably will need a larger pinion in there as well. This battery was only on the storage charge. We're probably not giving enough voltage. Whoa! But I'm going to say 4S is definitely. Hope I got that on video. Well, the drive shaft's okay, so probably the differential on the front's blown. So, in fact, guys, we utterly destroyed the differential. I feel like these are the same differential gearing that they use in the two-wheel drive Slash. So the planetary gears, they shredded. Now, I was like, oh, these got to be the same that they use in the two-wheel drive Slash. In fact, these may very well be, but the drive shafts themselves are longer. They have the same design. They do fit in the two-wheel drive two-wheel drive Slash differential. But as you can see here, they are a bit shorter. So that would be the difference. These gears themselves, they will fit in the two-wheel drive Slash diff, but these shafts are longer. So that looks like what's the difference between those gears. So if you only have broken these, you should be able to replace them with a two-wheel drive Slash. Don't quote me on that 100%, but if you want to go ahead and spend the money and try and figure that out, sure. I was going to do that, but I have also wrecked some of these
the shaft gears too, so it's kind of pointless for me to even do that. So that's all we got for this episode, guys. 4S is a little bit too much for this differential. Unfortunately, hopefully somebody will come out with a better diff. If you know of a alternate planetary gear for the two-wheel drive slash like an upgrade, because I really hate this gearing, even in a two-wheel drive slash. I have blown those up to smithereens I don't know how many times. In fact, I've given up and I've just kind of used a lock differential now. But if you know of a company that makes those, please let me know. I'd be very interested in getting a set now that we need them. All right, guys. All right, guys. Until next time.
I forgot.